What's going on? Welcome to this video. My name's Hayden. You're watching FBA TV. 5 top tips for selling on Amazon. Let's go. Completely organic. Haven't revised this. I'm just going to do this off the top of my head as if I was on a podcast interview. Someone asking me what are the 5 top tips for selling on Amazon 2023. Let's go. Tip number 1 from me is making sure that you know what you are doing. Make sure you know what strategy you're doing and don't get too distracted by other strategies. Figure out the strategy you want to do, master that strategy, and then move on to something else, or keep mastering it and keep going on that one strategy. Don't keep hovering around loads of different strategies like OA, RA, wholesale. Master one strategy. The people that I know that are successful, they do one strategy and they do it really, really well. Once they've mastered it, they might move on to another one if they're a beginner, getting used to it. But generally, they just master one strategy at a time. Okay, they don't do loads of different strategies. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is don't over-expect in the first year. When the first year of selling on Amazon, don't over-expect it. You're in it for the long term. You're not in it for a quick buck, where you shouldn't be anyway. I would recommend you getting out of it if you're in it for a quick buck. If you are in this seriously, you shouldn't be expecting loads in the first year, because no business gets really successful in 1 year. Anomalies, maybe. No successful business really happened in 1 year. Unless you've got loads of resources and loads of people working for you, loads of money originally invested, and an amazing idea that's never been in the market before. This is a real business and it's going to take time to build. Don't over-expect, because then you might end up quitting, okay? People are like, I've been doing it a year, I haven't got much success. Well, come on, it's been a year, 12 months, that's nothing. You know, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months times 12, that's nothing. So don't over-expect in the first year, okay? First year's for learning, second year's for earning. That's what Luke Dugan, when he mentored me when I started, used to tell me. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is don't linger around too many small-minded people. The people that you hang around with in this industry are going to determine the success that you have. I'm lucky enough to surround myself with great people. I've got a little mastermind group, not a paid group or anything like that. It's, when I say mastermind group, it's just a group of a few people that were in a WhatsApp group, and we're just close friends, and we just mastermind with each other. We don't even call it that. No one would know it's a mastermind, but I see it as a little mastermind. We share ideas. Any of the new news that comes out, we share it with each other. Any big ideas that come out, we share it with each other, and we just sort of help each other out. But most importantly, we're just delivering that positive energy to each other all the time, which is really, really important. We're not dwelling on stuff from we're all pushing forwards. So having that sort of support network is really, really important. Tip number 4. So I've talked about coaching. Quick interruption to introduce my new sponsor. So I'm now sponsored by BuyBot Pro. BuyBot Pro is an Amazon FBA product research tool and calculator. Not only can you work out your fees, how much profit you're going to be making from your products, but there's multiple products within the service of this software, including a built-in Keeper type graph. Therefore, if you have this, you don't need Keeper. Loads of other features on this tool. If you want a 14-day free trial for BuyBot Pro, which I've been using for years now, check out the link below, get that 14-day free trial. And let's carry on with the video. Mentoring in the past and how I don't personally offer any, which I don't, but funny enough, I think that it's really important, if you can afford it, after you've got used to it, initially looking at YouTube videos and stuff like this, probably this video, once you know what you're doing, if you can afford it only, and if they're reputable, and if it's a fair price, get yourself a mentor, get yourself a coach, someone that is very credible, someone like Natalie Cromie, who's actually my mentor from Ecom Inner Circle. She's fantastic. Get yourself either the right coach or in the right program, and surround you. That will also help you surround yourself with the right people, and it could accelerate your progress. It could accelerate it really, really fast. You could have spent years getting the knowledge that you could get from an expert like Natalie, from an expert like her, or others. But just be careful. Just be careful what you're going to do. Be careful who you're going to spend your time listening to and investing in, and make sure that it's a fair and reasonable price. As I say, I don't offer any myself personally. Number 5 is think big. Think big. One of the big mistakes that I made when I started selling on Amazon was that I thought big, but not until too later, and I still don't think big enough. But I didn't start thinking big enough I didn't start really truly believing in this business model and what it could be eventually, like a big brand even, or your own house of brand where you sell other brands, whatever. Well, I didn't really believe in the business until a much later stage. Like now, last 6 months to a year is when I've really started believing in it. Before that, it took me way too long to actually put in the work that was required to turn this into a serious business. I say once you've mastered this for 6 months or a year, once you've learned the basics, mastered it to a certain extent, even if you're not going to be an expert, you've mastered it to a certain extent, you've proved to yourself, you've got the confidence to yourself, more importantly, it works, you've got some resources, you've got some finances. For me, that's when I should have hit it really, really hard. And I would have been in a different place right now if I hit it really hard. But I didn't. I was still scared and I was enjoying the money too much, paying myself when I shouldn't have been paying myself much at all because I didn't have many outgoings at the time. I should have just kept reinvesting it and pushed it to a bigger level much sooner, i.e. taken on more VAs, expanded the business model, expanded to different countries, for example, whatever. It took me way too long to realise what I had, and I'm very grateful for what I've got now, but it took me too long to realise that I need to be pushing this harder, and just believing in myself enough. So they're my 5 top tips for selling on Amazon, and I'll see you